Long is the way and hard that out of hell leads up to light. John Milton, Paradise Lost. Welcome to video 43, which is the introduction to a new playlist, Why We Are Not Ruled by Malevolence. Now, what is John Milton's long is the way and hard in our case? Well, we are subject to mental trauma, all the lies, the unknown, but we can easily eliminate any trauma when we realise it's all just a joke. Nobody dies and nobody gets hurt. When I say we, of course, I refer to us conspiratards and not the moronic mass of non-player characters who have simply just not been switched on. Spiritually, it probably needs to be, not given the metaphorical red pill. So, we discovered, we are informed of a hoax, any big hoax, and then afterwards, either soon after or many years after, we realised there are hoaxes as far as you can see. It is a fabric of this realm. Now I say realm rather than world to suggest a hidden spiritual dimension which has to exist and has to control. Our first natural but wrong conclusion is that all these lies are malicious. We tell others about our discoveries. In vain. Are they blind? Do they have no logic, no critical thinking, no scientific method? But as I said, waking up is a change that is probably beyond the material. And we lose friends and family who think we are mad, paranoid. It's a joke, but it's a strong one. And as most conspiracists get their head mostly filled up with fear-porn rubbish, paranoid is a fair description. But we're all thought of as paranoid, as disturbed. The system is punking us. The moronic mass of non-player characters are the vast majority. And it's obviously possibly traumatic or stressful to be divergent from the vast majority, even if the vast majority is a moronic morass of useless eaters. Now, when I say system, I mean the benign, hidden, creative power, whatever that is, we don't know, plus the humans it's put in charge. I call these humans secret world government, which are under the benign, hidden power. This introduction also includes my awakening, my misguided, laughable awakening. I was going to include my awakening in the title, but it is coincidentally the same title as David Duke's book. Duke was the imperial wizard of the Knights of Ku Klux Klan, and incidentally the character called David Duke has been played by several different men throughout his life. Just another system actor. So I thought I'd change it to My Struggle, because it was a struggle. But in German, my struggle is Mein Kampf, so maybe not. The crux of the psyop brainwashing is that an evil group of men have secretly taken control of the world. Now, I'll just repeat straight away that there is central decision making. I've even got a playlist, Secret World Government. Central decision making for big things only. And it is secret, and it is totalitarian even, but it's benign, put there by the benign hidden power. So, back to the psyop that brainwashes us conspiratards to believe the power is held by a greedy, evil group of men. The shill movement pushes many different groups as culprits. My own personal moronic brainwashing was that I believed the top bankers were the ultimate power. The owners of the central national banks, such as the Bank of England and the Federal Reserves. What was your personal moronic brainwashing as to who's in power? Was it also the bankers? Or was it the Illuminati or shapeshifters or the Jesuits or Jews or Chinese government or lizard men or Nephilim or the royals, or the City of London or the Crown Estates or the Roman Empire or the Sovereign Knights of Malta or the 1,000 others? Do you still believe it? Are you still a moron? In this playlist there'll be a video on each of these groups and why they cannot possibly secretly rule the world. The groups that actually exist, that is. And I hope none of my viewers believe in shapeshifters or lizard hybrids. They only exist in the Photoshop programs of a few shill sites. And they exist in David Icke books. And he sold over 20 million books. One stupid shill who sees it as his job to expose all the lizard hybrids, Nephilim and Archons, whatever they are, actually claimed I was a lizard man in a video of his. And it was all because we just disagreed over who Russell Brand is with his fake out-of-date Cockney accent. And I was telling somebody else, don't believe the people who say these actors live forever, because they're just like you and me in that respect. And that's what triggered the shill, because his website is all about people, you know, all these evil people living forever. Brand is actually many people, but the most interesting is Jordan Peterson. That's ridiculous, you say. I know it is a clever one, and it needs a dedicated video to prove it, and I will do it, but I have a lot of videos I want to do first, and including other more interesting actor-based reality ones. So, as I've said, it's obvious to me that this crazy realm has to be under a benign hidden force, but there seems to be mortals put in charge, or semi-mortals, or whatever, human-looking people, which are, you know, quite nice people, I believe. Russell Brand is a good example, an obvious total system tool, but he appears to me to be very human. They all do, I believe they are, but special. Obviously more in the know than us, of course, and creators of hoaxes, secret, deceptive, and this opens about a secret and deceptive, but not malicious, but this all opens up conspiratards wide open to the unbelievable fear porn rubbish that the shills are feeding them, that these actors or these top people are Satanists or shapeshifters or lizard men who exist forever in differing material earthly forms. I suggest we do go on forever, but not in our, obviously, material earthly forms. And shall say, they're secretly transgendered in the womb to pay homage to their satanic god Baphomet. Well, there's no evidence of them being evil or living forever or being shapeshifters or any of that. They appear to live and age and die just like the rest of us, very human. But of course, yes, I've said it, they are also very different. They probably have a more efficient way of communicating than creating sound waves with voice that we are stuck with. This playlist will be exploring all that. We'll be exploring the other side. I'm not calling them the dark side, although they are secret. I'm not calling them the opposition, because I don't know that, and I think it's ultimately benignity. But they have to be different, don't they? And one video will be about, they never own up to it, do they? You see, that would be a bit of a giveaway, but it would be human for at least one of them. Well, you do get, often shill A will say shill B is a shill because he creates fear porn about CERN and HARP, and they don't exist, except as an idea and as a film set. But nobody has ever said, I helped organise, for example, such and such shooting hoax. Or nobody has ever said, well, you know me, for example, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, but I also played Heath Ledger. Now, you might think, well, they're not going to admit it, and there's the carrot and stick and bribery and fear to silence everybody. But I'm going to explain why that wouldn't work. And it obviously can't be that, and it has to be something much more solid. I'll explain that in a video which will be called The Underman. I'll be examining why it has to be something deeper. Broadcasting is controlled, but they could still get the message out if they wanted. The special humans put in charge of world economic and technological progress do a reasonable job. And the humans put in charge of world trauma creation are very successful. These are psyops that are aimed at everybody. Sorry. There are psyops that are aimed at everybody, such as nuclear war and global warming. And then there are psyops that are aimed specifically at us conspiratards. Now, most conspiratards believe the psyops that are aimed at everybody, but they also have some that are especially aimed at them from the shill sites. An example, two interesting newish psyops. One is the lovely and beautiful Tartarian world culture. that was destroyed by our evil leaders. It never existed. Tartaria means territory, and it was the most worthless piece of land after Antarctica. And the second example is the coming reset that will tortuously wipe us all out. Reset is a favourite shill meme at the moment. Just like, it started with the satanic reset, where Satan tortuously wiped out almost everybody with his flood in the time of Noah's Ark. Except that it was God, of course, that tortuously wiped out almost everybody, not Satan. Because that's one of the many jokes in the Judeo-Christian Bible psyop, that there is no real difference between their God and their Satan. Clues for us that man-made religion is all nonsense. And the polytheistic religions have the same psyops, with differing execution. So if I can free your mind of the stupidity of they're an evil group of men in power who only care about money and power and they're trying to get us. If I can do that in the next couple of videos in this playlist, then in later videos we can enjoy analysing the trauma the benign hidden world gives us, and possible motivations and necessities, and the difference between spiritual and mental trauma, insofar as they can be separated, and dreams. And because for whatever reason it is a trauma-based planet, same for the animals. All are either predators or prey, or both. And the predator can often have more trauma than the prey, because the predator's food, the prey, can be more sparse, and when available it runs away. So I already said I believe that secret society bankers control the world. I believed this for about a year, and I was Christian for about a year at pretty much the same time. Now, a couple of other times I've been brainwashed into believing rubbish, but the effects lasted much shorter than a year before I saw the light. Ironically, I was saved from much trauma by my own paranoia, because when people committed the crime of disbelieving some hoax or other I was trying to tell them, I would think, oh, they're part of it. They're on the dark side. But I like them. They're friends and family. And I would call them baffos for fun, and they didn't like that. Because I knew them, and I knew them to be good, decent people, friends and family, I didn't think the dark side, whatever it was, could possibly be really that dark. Well, I was wrong, of course. They're not part of it, and they're not on the dark side, because there is no dark side. They're just like most human beings. Innocent, but stupid. And my other saving grace was that I see it self-evident that the world is stable and progressing. Now, people get annoyed with that. Many of you will disagree with that. But I'll explain it as point number 1 in my next video, number 44, 8 crucial points why we are not ruled by malevolence. This video is more of an introduction. I'd also read garbage like the Protocols of the Elders of Zion and Nestor Webster's Secret Societies and Subversive Movements. And yeah, okay, it's quite interesting, but you know, trying to work out how the secret societies could exist. But my conclusion, which was not immediate for me, was that such material societies can't possibly secretly gain power. I'll explain why in videos in this playlist. And if they possibly could gain power, which they can't, it would have to ironically be on the basis of a morality and a stability. Order from chaos is a nonsense. Order from chaos is also the basis of evolution theory. But in that case, it breaks the second law of thermodynamics. If matter or energy is left alone without guidance, it will become more and more chaotic and dissociated. In the Protocols, they talk about the necessity for a morality and a stability amongst themselves to maintain power. It's a mythical book, but that point has logic. Now, right, more about my disassociated awakening. This is video 43, but it says 28 videos under my channel. So what about the other 15? Well, one was censored by YouTube, it's now on Odyssey, but 14 were taken down by myself, the early ones, because they had bits in them that were a product of my indoctrination. They had some nonsense Christianity influence. When I edited those bits out and re-uploaded, that's now video 38. but it's still a bit shit, and it takes almost the same time to go through an old video and edit it and delete bits rather than just create a new video. I like all the videos I've got up now, and I do hope I don't think they're rubbish in 3 years and take them down, but don't worry, that won't happen. I know where I was bamboozled before. It was when lots of new information was coming in all the time and my filters were down. But the system hasn't disclosed much at all since about 2020. Around 2019 there was much disclosure, as was the period before that of much disclosure, 2011, 2012. Who knows when the next period will be? Will there be the next one? Now, people hate me when I say the system can't possibly be malicious and there's no physical harm to anybody. What about 5G, they say, or whatever is their current thing that their favourite shill is telling them about? Those that get offended by this thesis and think I'm doing something bad are too stupid to realise that the people who full-time broadcast that the system is malicious are not heroes against the system. They're supported by the system with all their fear porn. They are the system. If you're new to all this nonsense, you won't understand that. The government itself is giving these false ideas about itself, that it's evil. I should say system, not government, because most actual government bureaucrats are not part of the system or even know about it. So one example out of many, psyops, paedophiles in power. It's bullshit, although it's a psyop from the people in power themselves, who are not paedophiles. Pizzagate and Epstein, etc., are just hoax, more panto, more fiction, more fear porn. People also get angry because I can't share their pity for the innocents who have supposedly been poisoned by chemtrails or whatever their current thing is, because I just don't believe anybody's been poisoned. I'm going to do a video, it'll be the one after next, 45, about quality of evidence, where there is no evidence and where there's brilliant evidence and everything in between. It'll be a very short video. Anyway, if you don't like this thesis of benignity, well, you don't have to watch this, don't have to watch my channel at all. You can go to the shill movement, which is what I call the truth movement, because it is 99.9% shills, and you can get all the horror and fear that you crave. You won't get any real analysis there, but you'll get false justification for the anger and trauma you've suffered, and you are suffering if you're angered by this bit of video. And it will give your anxiety pretend meaning. Now, something I ask myself, I'll just cover it quickly. If I think the system is ultimately benign and the trauma is God-given or whatever God is, and must have reason, then what am I trying to do? What am I trying to expose this and reduce trauma among my viewers, even though the hidden world has a reason for this trauma? Well, firstly, I'm aware that no YouTube channel, even one with hundreds of thousands of subs, is going to change anything. Although maybe I can at least change the views of some of my subscribers. God bless you. And even if I could change the world, I don't want to, because I'm still learning about it. I'm still 99% ignorant. I make videos for interaction with you, so leave comments, ask questions. Maybe we are creators ourselves, here temporarily as an experience or an experiment, maybe. I mean, it's possible. They're doing a hell of a lot of effort, aren't they? Just for us. So I doubt we're throwaway. Now, well, yeah, if we we're part of the creative force, we obviously, for our time on Earth, have our intelligence and memory temporarily removed, or to quote Woody Allen, electronically simplified. A lot of effort is going on. And they, the system, must have predicted that little humans like me, and hopefully you, will be able to peer through the massive morass of shill fear porn. And they must have accounted for it, and they don't care about it. And they want us all talking. So they probably want these kind of videos. They'd rather we all believed rubbish. That's why they create two sides, a false dichotomy. But as long as we're all talking about it, and we want to talk about it as well, because we're interested. So we are playing their game, but we want to play their game. It's on our terms. I should say I know of no other YouTube channel like this. If you know of any, please, or website, Please comment below, I'll subscribe to them immediately. Finally, big commiserations to those who don't believe a benign hidden world exists. Those who think we got here from some big bang explosion, followed by billions of years of great luck after great luck. And those who believe we have no spirit that moves on, and who therefore believe that energy can be destroyed after all. Atheists like that must believe that this hoax, lie, joke realm is all a human invention, and that's incredibly grim, as well as being kind of blind. Even Christians, with all their curses from God and demons and Satan and Canaanites and Nephilim and much other such fear-porn rubbish, believe there is a higher power, that it is a good power and well above man. Investigating reality in our crazy realm is the biggest show in town, so keep watching. It's the biggest show by far. Lots of interesting, fascinating things in this world, but of course it's the most fascinating if you're lucky enough to have been given the chance to be, turned on, red-pilled, whatever. So thanks for listening. Please like this, click the like button and subscribe for the next video, and I'll see you next